This could be Ping's most important club of 2025. We've all seen the brand new Ping G440 range of drivers and fairways, but today we have the brand new Ping G440 Max 7 wood. So today we're going to test it, see just how forgiving it potentially is, how far we can really get it to go, and just how adjustable this bad boy really can be. So Ping claim they've made a huge change to this from the G430 range. We'll delve into that, see exactly what tech is featured in here, and praise the Lord, there are no turbulators on this club. I'll have you know though, that carbon fly wrap looks absolutely gorgeous. So for me, the best club I've tested so far this year is probably the Ping G440 Hybrid. We tested the 2 Hybrid just today, and I'm actually blown away. I'll put some of the shots on screen now. If you want to see that full review, I will link it down below, or it may not even be on yet. It probably will be on yet though. But we're going to hit this 7 wood to start with in its standard 21 degrees setting. So the big change that Ping talk about, it isn't necessarily the carbon fly wrap that it has. It isn't necessarily that heat treated forged face, but it is the depth of the face. They made the face a little bit deeper just for a little bit more kind of confidence, inspiration, which a lot of people do want, especially if you're teeing this club up. So, Bobby, how far do you think with the 7 wood? Essentially, 240 total or carry. So straight away, that's the kind of shot you do want to see with a 7 wood. It's lovely and high, it's nice and easy to launch. It's carrying 212, releasing up to 225. Plenty of spin there at 4,300. And it's gone quite high, hasn't it? It's launched nice and easily. It's launched at 14.9 degrees dynamic loft. It does feel a little bit firmer potentially than the Hybrid did feel. The Hybrid felt really, really soft and nice to hit, but you start to look at that and you can see just the consistency levels that we are getting. We're hitting that fairway and we're getting pretty good distance. So with a 7 wood, you might think, well, I don't need a 7 wood. I'm not a high handicap golfer. I'm not a mid handicap golfer. I'm not a beginner. But you start to see who has a 7 wood in the bag in 2025. Some of the best golfers in the world are in fact featuring more lofted fairway woods. Although when I was a kid or a nip, 21 degrees was a 5 wood. So we are going to play around with this loft just a little bit and see potentially how good it can be. The head shape is phenomenal. Head shape looks really good. And you can really start to see just how easy that is to launch in the air. If you're playing a golf course that is quite long, that you do want to get potentially nice, easy shots landing on the green, this could be the club for you. I think we'll see a lot of these in the bag of Ping athletes around Augusta time, because these are the shots that people want to hit. And one of the main reasons for that people might change into this G447 wood is it features a free hosel design. So this is designed to allow Ping to kind of enhance CG, move CG around, allow you to get better launch angles, and of course improve spin rates. So matching that with that slightly taller face, you can really see how Ping have tried to just slightly change this club to make it easier to hit, easier to launch, a better club all around. And potentially, I think with that head shape and the carbon fly wrap, you can start to see how versatile this club can be. That's gone slightly left, the spin's dropped nicely, but that one's pitching out there at 220 should I say. It's releasing up to that 240 number that Bobby has set us. Let's hit one more then, let's play around with the loft and see potentially just how far we can get this to go. That's the shot you want with it, Bob, isn't it? Like if you're going into like a 200-yard par 3, potentially that's what everyone's wanting. It's pitching bang on 200 and it's stopping quick. So a lot of people might think, well, a fairway wood, you would want it to go further than that. Surely you don't want a fairway wood that just goes 199 and finishes at 207. But that's exactly what you do want out of this club. You want it to land soft. How soft can we get it to land actually? Can we hit it potentially even higher at 200? And then land a little bit softer. That might land just short of 200, but I've got it nice and high as we want to. It's coming down vertically. Plenty of backspin. 195 finishing at 203. Now, if we just adjust this slightly and play around with it, we can start to see, first of all, how simple it is to adjust, because other companies have, of course, made this where you need a rocket science degree to do it, which is slightly difficult. You always have to give a Ping one of them, don't you, to get it off. And then What should we go? Should we go higher or lower? Lower. Let's go lower. So we're going to take 1.5 off it, so it's 19.5. So that really is into the realms of kind of 5 wood numbers. But this is where I think potentially having the adjustment on the sleeve, a lot of companies don't put adjustable sleeves into the forgiving model because they try and keep costs down, but Ping haven't done that. Ping are allowing you to adjust it. Buying the 7 wood makes a lot of sense because you can take it down if you want to. So you can see the nice high ball flights we're having. If we just hit a couple of normal shots here now, you can see it's still nice and high. It's maybe that little bit lower though. The spin's changed a little bit and that one's pitching just that little bit further. So it's pitching 205 instead of 199. So if I really want to get the versatility out of this and really want to think, right, how can I work this club to my advantage, back in the stance slightly and hit that kind of shot where that's launched a heck of a lot lower. That's launched at 9 degrees instead of 15. And again, we're pitching up at that 220, releasing up to 237 or 240 yards like Bobby's wanting. So we can change that spin rate if we want to at 3,700. Can we play a bit of a draw with this? I've tried to play a draw there, it's held out straight. One of the big things that I'm taking from this is just how easy it is to hit, to be honest. It's really easy to launch. They're the kind of numbers that I would expect, that I would anticipate. And we have hit it pretty well, to be honest. One of the negatives I would say with this is with the hybrid we've just tested, it sounded really, really good. It felt really good. This doesn't quite have the acoustic pleasure that the hybrid does give you. But if it performs as well as it is doing, then potentially, is it going to be the club that everybody wants? So you've been able to do that with a 7 wood. Like this is going to pitch at like 230, 233. It's up past 250. They're kind of like 3 wood numbers, aren't they? So showing what Ping have done with this by changing potentially a bit of the head around shows that you can have the versatility. You can hit a long shot, you can hit a high shot, you can hit a low shot. What more do you want out of this club? So we've changed it down, we've moved that loft down, as you know. Now, one thing I think this club could have is potentially some movable weights to allow that CG to creep forward. If we were thinking constructively how we could improve this, potentially that might happen. Of course, this is the max head, so essentially that's always going to be the more forgiving head. But how low can we hit this? We've already hit a couple that were quite nice, but I always think with a 7 wood, if you can sort of punt it out, see that's just climbing up a little bit. And the thing that would worry me a little bit is if I'm trying to play that low one like I have there, I'm happy with that as a shot. 220 yards carry, 236 yards total. We've had very consistent numbers with that, but it is obviously designed to get the ball up in the air. If I'm playing in really strong winds here, and they're the shots I'm hitting, if I'm trying to keep it low, I think I would like a bit of adjustment in here with the weights to allow myself to do that. Also, if I strike it like that, I suppose an adjustable weight isn't necessarily going to help us too much. Right, come on. Nice and low, take some speed out, get the spin down, and Bobby, don't try not to fall over. I mean, it's not a bad flight, is it? But since I've hit that low one, I want to hit it again. I'm chasing that low one time after time after time. The numbers are so consistent, it's frightening. But all I want to do is hit that knuckleball. Oh, Chris in the corner there. All right, Chris. Hello. And then you almost risk topping it to get it. I mean, that again, that's done frighteningly well. Frighteningly well. One more time. It's almost too easy to hit. So other tech stories in this club, which we've kind of kept to last, is of course we have that super high MOI. So that means we've got the back weight here. That shoves CG back in the head to increase MOI, of course, to get you the forgiveness that we've spoken about throughout this video. But it also has a more rounded sole here, a more rounded edge. And that's something which a lot of people might not see. And to the naked eye, you might think, well, why on earth does that matter? But when you put the club down, it means it sits nice and square in all the different settings when you do change the adjustment. And that's one thing which, to be honest, I have quite enjoyed. Since we've changed it, it still sits nice and square. It sits nicely on the ground. I don't feel like it's necessarily moved in lie angle or moved where the face is pointing. So really, I have to say that all those things added up means I can't wait to get this club out on the golf course when it stops snowing And it might well be something to think about for in the bag in the year, because it's so versatile, it's so easy to hit, and to be honest, it's probably out there instead of a 4-iron or some kind of hybrid. So guys, if you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below. Let me know, would you consider having a 7-wood in the bag? And if you would you have this one? That's a terrible strike. How far is that going to go? Because forgiveness-wise, I think we've proved that it ain't too bad. How's that gone 200 yards? That's frightening. I've nearly missed that.